When you take a look at those drivers and how high dollar-yen can go, what are you seeing?
Well, obviously, so the key one at the moment is the interest rate differential, which with such a poor hawkish Fed comments coming out, starting with Federal and Powell this week, as long as that rate spread keeps going, you think dollar-yen can keep rising. And I think the key target the market's looking for is about potentially 125. Now, I don't think it's going to happen overnight, certainly. Again, if that yield spread keeps widening, then that will be looking at 125. And the reason that's the high back in 2015. It's around that area that BOJ Governor Kuroda started commenting on the yen weakness, and that was maybe a bit overdone. So markets may look to test that area. Again, assuming the yield differential widens and that equities don't sell off, because obviously if they do start to sell off, then you would expect to see some safe haven yen action come into play.
Well, you know, David, at the last meeting, the Bank of Japan made it really clear they're not going to do anything to change monetary policy, not going to lean to the least bit tighter. I guess verbal intervention, what do you expect, if anything, to stop the fall? We know that it's not like the olden days when Kuroda would say, hey, this helps our exports.
Yeah, it's interesting because actually, you look at last week when the Bank of Japan had its meeting, the comments from Governor Kuroda were like, yen weakness is okay as long as it's in line with fundamentals. Now, of course, what is fundamentals can always be a bit vaguely interpreted. I think one of the key things is the speed of this decline. I mean, you think at the beginning of this month, it was trading at under 115, and now it's gone all the way to over 121. So what you could see some verbal intervention saying, this has come too one-sided, the swings getting a bit too volatile, because while they won't mind it weakening, they won't want it to weaken at too quick a pace, because that just breeds further bets of it weakening even further and further. So I think they'll want to try and control the pace. So you could expect to see some verbal intervention from the government or from Bank of Japan if they start seeing the daily movement being too large in one direction.